really, really skewed data here. You got yourself some extraordinarily skewed data. And now the problem is, some people can say, well, wait a minute, Rule, wait a minute, damn it. You can draw a bell over that. Yeah, you can. You can draw that bell, can't you? The problem is, that's negative. That doesn't exist, right? You can't have negative, well, you can't count negative numbers. So yeah, you can draw a tail down there, but this curve starts right there. That's what the curve looks like. It's not a full bell curve. So you can't, I mean, you could theoretically slap a standard deviation up. It's going to be meaningless. It's not going to have any meaning. So the problem is the bell curve got truncated, which means it's no longer a good bell curve. So we cannot use, in my opinion, on the back page there where I said, based on the histogram, list one reason you might not want to talk about the average. Give me one reason.
That was my answer, was that it was no longer bell-shaped.
Good! Good! It's not a bell shape. I would use one four-letter word to describe
Oh, we
this.
can't talk about the deviation because it's deviating too far?
No, I want to talk about the deviation because I'm not going to talk about the average. And I'm not going to talk about the average because that data is too highly skewed.
Okay, good.
So Rory, the word I'm looking for, the problem is it's only got one tail. We lost the left tail on the bell curve. This data, remember the data from a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, the house sale data we looked at in class? It looked almost identical to this. It looked like this and then it tailed off and there were some hiccups on the far side, and we cautioned ourselves against using the average because the average heads towards the tail, which means it moves away from where the chunks of the data are. The chunk of the data is over here, but your average is actually coming this way. So you're getting an unfortunately high view of the average. The data's too skewed. Whenever you have skewed, that's kind of my reasoning.
Right.
When you have skewed data, stop using averages. Start using medians maybe, but stop using averages. The reason I didn't want to go to the median is we don't have any kind of a standard deviation measure for median. So hell, we can't use the average, we can't use the median, we shouldn't use the mode, Danielle said earlier. So I said, what can we do? So that's what the rest of the quiz was about. Let's do it a different way. Instead of trying to count how many friends my friends have, why don't I just compare how many friends they have compared to me? So I looked at mine. I had 673 as of the 26th of January. Go back to your list. What percentage of my friends have more? Did everybody get this far? 22%. 22% of my friends have more friends than me. Which kind of makes Zuckerberg's claim a little bit facetious. But it's only me. I'm not looking at an average, I'm looking at just me. So for me, his theory doesn't hold, because only 1 in 9 of my friends have more friends than me. But then I take a pause, I go, wait, crap. I didn't actually look at all my friends, I looked at a sample of my friends. So, whenever you have a sample, anything, you can't just report the average, can you? What do you have to report with an average every time? A margin of error or standard deviation. So the margin of error, don't worry about this calculation, we'll study it in 244, I promise you. The margin of error on that 22% is 10%. The reason it's so big is because the sample is so small.
So you would say 22% plus or minus?
Plus or minus 10%, which means at least 12%, at most 32%. I think a lot of you guys are trying to make that math much harder than it has to be. You just add and subtract 10 from 22.
Right.
And those are your endpoints. So that's what goes into that. The percentage of Sean's Facebook friends who have more friends than he does is at least 12%, but at most 32. Now, why do you have to put the margin of error on that?
You mean 22, right?
32. 12 to 32. You have to add and subtract 10% to that 22. So Rachel, 22 here.
Right.
Add 10 and subtract 10 to get these two boxes. So 12 to 32%.
Okay.
I'm going to go out of order a little bit here. Why do you have to use, I'm asking the last question now. Why do you have to use the margin of error?
So you know what the range is.
Why do you have to have the range? I love it, Richie. Why does there have to be a range? Because you took a sample. You didn't actually count the entire population, which means the number you got is going to be off a little bit. You correct the offness by putting the margin of error on. And to drive that point home, I did a little bit of finagling here. I actually went in and counted all of my friends that had more friends than me. And as it turns out, 24% of them do. We got 22, yes? But actually, it's 24%. But is that 24% between 12 and 32?
Yeah.
That means statistically, we were correct. It doesn't matter that we didn't hit it with the 22%. It matters that we caught it in the net that we cast. Does that make sense? Think about casting a net when you go fishing, if you fish with a net. The bigger the net, the better the chance you're going to catch at least one fish. We cast the net at 10%. Why? 10%, 10%. The actual value was in the net when we scooped it up. The 22% missed it, but the net caught it. And that's why you need the margin of error, because Sherry said we're probably going to miss in the single. You throw the margin of error on there because you have to. Round corners, it's okay. Does that make sense? If you need more time to finish it, take it home, bring it back on Tuesday, okay? If you want to turn it in now and be done with it, add it to the pile of stuff you submitted earlier, by all means. I'm sorry if that created undue agita. I didn't mean it to. I honestly God didn't mean it to. Oh, I just looked at this. There's 60 data points. How many have more than 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3,
Why not always?
6.
Right.
These values are
10, 12, 12 out of 60. I guess that gives you your 32%. That's all. Just count how many you have. That's all. Well, you guys are trying to make this much harder than this. I'm like, oh my gosh, add. Count.
Can we do it? That'll be in my algorithm.
On Tuesday, you're like, remember, that's why they're optional. Turn to the ones you What would you say?
You can't do all these. What you say?
I love that answer. You guys days where we get more. That's a great answer. Good luck with it. Just so you know, I agree. Some people are never done doing solve. She's great. Sometimes I've never seen that answer. If she doesn't recognize it, she might think that's a great answer. I don't, when you say I don't know what I want, I don't know what you guys are saying. But I just, as long as it's somehow in that answer you tied in what you did before, you just tied in a lot of it, which is freaking awesome. Don't second guess yourself, my friend. You got a stat gift. I'm sorry if this was traumatic, I didn't mean it to be. Sorry.
Counseling, we all got counseling.
I know, stat counseling.
That counselors, that's
Sorry.
You might ask them about
It's
this.
gorgeous. Gorgeous. Awesome. That's good. That's good. I like the little. Let's go. You bumped it up zero. Okay, good, good, very good.
It's like there's so many things you can do. It's almost like, yeah, and then you're like, so once we get out of it, get back from it, without losing everything.
Sarah, apparently it's 13, not 12. I think I just watched it. Wait a minute, that's not right. Apparently it's 13. I must have kept this for us. Yeah. 24 is within the margin. Well, 24 is the actual value of percentage of my friends. But we said 22, so we're off, right? When you put a margin of error, 24 is in there. And that's the whole point. That's why you have to have a margin of error, because you probably missed the true value in the sample. You just have a margin of error, and you most likely got the true value in the sample.
I'll get the margin of error.
Good, good. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah, I'll actually let you
but thank you, God. So, what you can do if this ever happens, you're going to have, let's see this. So you go to your stat editor, which is so let's just, so let's go back to the previous one. You can put L2, the top ones here, and then L3, the bottom ones here. But when you're report stats, when you run your calc one bar, usually you just press enter and the frequencies are pulled from that stat. You can actually override that by going list names, X stat, comma, Y stat. That's going to give me an error reference for something in Y stat.
Okay.
But
okay.
what you can do is you can override that command by putting in the list names. Exactly.
Okay.
So you can do that if you ever need to do anything.
Yeah.
So I apologize that it's that much different. It's
Yeah.
annoying that they're that much different.
Yeah.
Cool?
Thank you.
We got, and I sent that PDF to you, so you got the website or a PDF sitting in your inbox.
Awesome, thank you.
You got it, Val. What's up, Rory?
This is Amanda's,
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see.
Oh, you did.
Oh, I see why. Okay. You see these little W's? You know what that means? It means you have to show me where the number came from. The whole, if you look right up, let me show you. Bring that with me. Bring that with me. We're gonna fix some of this for you, don't worry. Remember how I told you Amber's a super, super consistent grader? Yeah, to a fault sometimes. Hang on, let me grab this. I'm gonna show you why she got 2 points, and we're gonna show you how we put some back. Alright, so. Schedule 3 project based on ability. Okay, so on that, it's not so much that you have the right answer, it's that you didn't show me how you got it. So if you look up here, it says, show me how you got it, either as a fraction or as a percentage. The problem was you didn't. So here's the deal. Now here's the deal. Some of these are, and you might not have seen this, depending on if you printed it or not.
some of them were put in here.
Right, and the point was, I wanted you to make sure you could check your numbers. So when you crunched them, you read the fraction, you were getting the same decimal I was. So
I
I,
was just confused.
no, I think what you just glanced over that too quickly. It's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you points back for all the ones that don't have answers. So that's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, that's 10, and whatever else you got knocked for. So I'm guessing.
I just got knocked for all these guys.
So that's 10 points back. Set. Let me have this with me. I want to put the plus 10 on there, take it back to the office, fix it, and the next week's progress report you'll have a 17 and a 7, or whatever. Yeah, 17. Cool.
Thank you.
No, thank you. And just that's all the reason. Those W's mean show me work. And that's it. Just, and it's not much work. It's a fraction or it's a multiplication or something. But just the problem is, when I give you the results,
Yeah, no, I
you're like, why did he do this? Why did he put 0.29? I don't know what 0.29
I
is.
just super confused like the whole time.
It's okay, man. Not anymore. You won't be.
Yeah.
You got it all squared away. Pull this out. This here. Sarah, what's up?
All right.
Okay,
Looking for it.
okay, let's see.
I had 10 points on
Chance
the
work.
It doesn't, and here's why. Chances are, but nowhere in there did you give me what
I don't have W's
what
on my
needs
computer.
to be in there. What were we talking about
Oh,
earlier?
yeah.
Well, the data, or no, what was it?
What was it?
Average.
On average, overtime, repeated trials, somewhere in there needs to have that idea. It's not that there's a 30% chance. What does a 30% chance mean? On average, over time with repeated trials, you'll see it in 30% of the instances.
Right.
All you've done here, not to be a bastard, but you've restated part D. So I needed to have it a different way. Explain it to your neighbor. Explain it to your neighbor. So if your neighbor goes, oh, so that means if I know 10 families, that means 3 of them are going to have eczema. And you're going to go, no, that doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It means if you see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families, 30% of the families are going to have it. Not 3 out of every 10, but 30% out of the entire whole. Does that make sense? Because you'll see it again. I mean, every assessment from here on out, I'm going to have something like that out there. Because that's so huge to understand that. Good?
Good, but this too.
Oh, this one down here.
Yeah, I
This
don't understand what was wrong with that.
You've got this backwards. So what you got? You've got college graduate with excessive debt, given delays getting married. Those are backwards.
Delayed marriage.
Delayed marriage
Because of
given
debt.
because of the
That's
debt. Exactly. Because you don't have this data. You don't have the data with excessive debt given that they delayed marriage. You know they have. You see what I'm getting at?
Right.
Got it backwards.
Right.
That's all.
fine.
Cool, sister.
Yeah.
Rockin'.
Okay, so I'm confused. Who missed?
Yes.
Can we, like, so I didn't.
There'll be more quizzes to turn in later. You don't have to turn in every
I
quiz.
know. So I didn't turn in the river one.
Totally fine. Let it
So
go.
can I do that one? and turn
No,
it-
because the problem is, here's why. They're gonna get graded hand back, and I'm gonna make a solution video for it. So, but here's the deal. Turn in 2 or 3 next week. The one we did today
So I went
counts.
to-
The one from the class counts against the 10.
I went to the community center after work yesterday.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't know anything. I don't know how to do that.
Interesting.
He didn't even know how to.
He was a stat tutor.
Yes. I was pretty frustrated.
You should be, and I'll go sit and figure, I'll find it and just chit chat with him a little bit. But don't worry about one quiz. You're gonna have like 30 by the time. I mean, I've already posted a dozen. We're gonna have even more coming out of the pipe. So let that one go. I'm gonna post, I have another variation quiz I was thinking about while you guys are working. I'll put that up for 2 weeks from now.
I just had, the start of this term was so rough for me, like, I was out of town.
Dude,
all friend passed away.
I'm sorry, just so much. And the friggin' term's only 10 weeks long.
Exactly.
So here's the best part. This is why I have so many assessments.
Yeah.
You can let some go. And I was talking to Corbin about it. He's freaking out. He's like, I got 5 quizzes. I'm like, time out. Let them all go. Let them all go. Do the one you're doing right now. Let the other 4 go. He's got tons of stuff on other classes. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Let these go. You'll have plenty more. You're going to have, let me count. 1, 2, 3. I think 5 more in-class quizzes. Like essentially 1 quiz for every topic we're going to finish the term with. They count against the 10. Oh God, yeah, the one you did today, that counts against one of your 10s. So you do the website quiz plus the 5, that's 6. Pick up 4 somewhere else. You're going to have 6 more weeks of
Yeah, I
quizzes.
tried doing the gas diesel one last night.
No, and I pushed that one back, right? I pushed that back.
Today, now it's going to make so much
Now it's
sense.
going to make sense, exactly, which is why I pushed it back. I said, if you need more time, take, yeah.
Okay, cool. And did you hand back the project today?
I
was late
did
today.
go through,
Couldn't
I
find
think it's
questions.
this full, that's okay. Run through there, anything in there that yours should be stapled together, so grab that. I'm gonna move all this. I think, actually, time out, that's the wrong class. I think this is you guys. Is that the right class? Shit, I got too many folders in them. Let's look for some names. This is you guys. Boom. Trade.
Hey,
Too many damn classes.
weird question for you.
Go for it.
Have you ever